What's up, everybody? So, real quick, another quick one, man. But before we get into this, definitely hit that like, that subscribe, and that comment button. Share it. Let me know your thoughts. But anyway, listen. When we talk about emotional walls, I think a lot of people have them. I don't want to say everybody. I don't want to categorize everybody, but a lot of people build emotional walls, especially after you've been hurt several times, after you've been disappointed several times. You start to feel like you got to protect yourself. And the way a lot of people protect themselves is that they start building emotional walls. They start actually putting up a defense mechanism to really protect themselves, to protect their soul because they feel like they're about to get dark. They start doing some crazy stuff. Some people build emotional wall because they want to keep everybody out on the border. They don't want nobody on the inside. They don't want to be hurt. They don't want to feel disappointment. Some people don't want to disappoint other people because they feel they let other people down when they got close to them. Some people build an emotional wall to keep themselves locked in. And they feel like if I stay within my emotional wall, then I'm okay. I'm protecting my innocence. I'm protecting me. I don't have to worry about carrying the weight of nobody else, the emotional weight of nobody else, because right now I'd rather deal with my own stuff. And oftentimes, when people build an emotional wall, that wall is normally built with negativity because that negative stuff that it takes to build what it takes to build that emotional wall is thoughts of things like, I can't meet nobody else. Nobody cares about me. I'm just going to get hurt again. I'm just going to get let down. There is no good person for me. Nothing good happens to me. My life is what it is. A lot of negative thoughts is what it takes to build that emotional wall because that emotional wall is built off of hurt. It's built off of the things in your life that you feel didn't work out or didn't go the way you wanted to. It's built off what other people did to you and how you took it. So now mentally, you have created your own self-defense system, which is you built that emotional wall. If somebody wants to get into a relationship with you, you're not really emotionally there. Physically, you may give your body for company, but you don't really give your heart. You don't really let yourself get tied to that person. You sort of keep them at a distance. You don't really disclose most a lot about your personal information about yourself. You don't talk about your family. You don't talk about your friends. Everything is surface level. That can apply to situations where a man or woman is trying to get to know you and want to date you, or it can apply to the fact that somebody just wants to be your friend. You're cool with them being a coworker, but you don't want it to go past that. Oftentimes, emotional wall is built off of shame. We're ashamed of maybe some of the things we've done in our life. We are ashamed of our failed relationships. We're ashamed of where we are, maybe financially. We don't have a house yet. You may be in your late 30s, 40s, or 50s, and you don't have a house, and your other friends have a house, or people you know have a house. It seems like everybody else is doing better. You may not have a car. You may be driving a raggedy car. You may have been divorced two, three, or four times. You may have been in multiple relationships and your relationships never seem to work. These are the things that contribute to us building emotional walls in our lives and really isolating ourselves and keeping everybody else out. But like I said, emotional walls are normally built off of a negative, um, something that was negative, a negative storm that happened in your life. We'll call it that. You had a storm that came through, it yielded negative results. It either tore your house down, tore the roof off, destroyed your plumbing, flooded your land. And now, in the recovery process to protect yourself going forward, you got that emotional wall. Some people's emotional wall, there's little holes where you can peek through. Some people's emotional wall is 100 feet high. That sucker's 100 feet wide. Because when people are hurt, and you have to think about this too, when you do hurt somebody, or you make somebody feel disappointed or discouraged about their life, you're adding to that person's emotional wall. And sometimes it's very difficult for a person to break out of that wall. When they cannot break out of that wall, they don't know what to do with themselves. Some people start to have a lot of anxiety. Some people go into depression. Some people become alcoholics. Some people become addicts to drugs. Some people become, just sex fiends. You know, they use sex as a way to cover up. You know what I'm saying? They find negative things as a way to cope with how they're feeling. A person that just can't seem to maintain a relationship may just become a physical person. They just feel like their body is all they have to give. So that's what they use, physical stimulation, to really kind of get them going and make them feel alive again. And when you build that emotional wall, there's going to be times when you do feel like you're empty. You're going to feel like you're dead. You're not living. So what do? You find some negative thing that's going to make you feel alive. And for a lot of people, it's sex. It could be masturbation. It could be, drinking, drugs. Maybe you hang with people you normally wouldn't hang around, people that you know that do things you don't normally do. Like, you probably never smoke marijuana, but you may go hang out and do marijuana with people just to do it because you want to feel alive. Within your emotional wall, you want to feel alive. You want to feel like there's some life within you. So be careful about these emotional walls we build around ourselves to cope with the things that we have to deal with in our lives. But you also have to understand that you have to consider how you impact somebody else's life. Because when you come into somebody else's life and you bring negativity, you bring drama, you bring a storm to that person, you're helping to build that emotional wall for that person. So you can push a person towards that knows those negative and bad habits that make them feel like they don't respect or love themselves. So think about that, but mainly think about the fact that if you are dealing with a situation to where you feel like you are, sort of caught up in a situation to where you're in an emotional wall, you're unhappy, you're feeling depressed, you're feeling sad, think about seeing a life coach. Think about seeing a counselor, maybe a spiritual advisor at your church. But you need to find somebody to connect with to release those emotions that you're feeling inside that you're holding in. Because if you do not release those emotions that you're building your emotional wall with, you're going to become so filled up with those negative emotions, those negative thoughts, that negative mindset, that nothing good is going to happen in your life. No good relationships are going to come. You're not going to meet nobody. You're not going to get a better job. You're not going to have better finances. That you're not going to have room for anything positive. Anything positive even looks remotely like it's coming your way, you're going to chop it down. You're going to strengthen that wall. So make sure you think about that. Think about talking to somebody. Make sure it's somebody you can confide in, somebody you can open up to. So definitely look at, maybe seeing a counselor, maybe seeing a therapist, maybe seeing a spiritual advisor, a life coach, but somebody who you can talk to, that you can open up about what you're feeling, and you can start to work on that wall before that wall gets too thick. Because once that wall gets so thick, you're going to start turning so many people away. You're going to start running away from relationships. You may actually step in the door to be in a relationship with somebody, but once you feel the slightest crack in the mortar of that wall, emotional wall you built, you're going to turn tails and run, or you're going to do anything you can to really sabotage that relationship so that person leaves you. And you're going to be okay with that, because in your mind, you're going to say, I knew that was going to happen. I knew they was going to leave. You're going to start justifying everything by saying, that's because you're going to believe in your mind that anything that goes wrong is normality in your life, and that is what's supposed to happen. So think about that, guys. Self-care is important, and you got to work on your emotions and how you use your emotions to construct the things in your life. If you are building an emotional wall, make sure you're building a positive emotional wall that's got windows that you can see, that's got a door, that you can control what's coming in and out, but also that what's coming in is positive. And what you're building around, that wall you're building around, that house you're building, is positive. And it's not built off negative reactions to things that have happened because of, just choices of people that have come into your life. They have gone, they're living their life, they're doing whatever. Don't carry dead weight, okay? And don't let that dead weight be your wall, all right? Hey, thank you for checking this out, man. I hope y'all enjoyed this. Hey, this is Reggie. Don't forget to check out the other videos for the Simply Straight Talk Show. Hey, you guys stay up, stay positive. I hope you like this, and I will catch you next time. Oh, don't forget, like, subscribe, and comment. Right there. Yeah, subscribe. Oh, subscribe. Subscribe. Okay, I'm done. I can hit it. I tried.